Dandelion Gardens is back. We didn't actually disappear, we just moved. We've moved from urban Te Puke, we are now in rural Te Puke. We're only actually 10 minutes up the road from where we were before, but we've climbed a hill and I've got a whole new climate to adapt to. It's definitely cooler up here by probably a couple of degrees. But I want to show you my new garden. At the moment it's growing clover and grass and buttercup and blackberry and dock. So this is an old pig paddock, which is awesome because pig poo is wonderful fertilizer. But we're starting from scratch. There is actually a raised bed garden further over the other side, but raised bed gardening is not my favourite, and it's also not big enough for me. So we're going to rebuild. I think this is where we're going to do it. I've been scoping where the sunlight is for the last 6 weeks since we've moved in, which is not long enough to actually know, but 6 weeks from now is the shortest day of the year, so that's going to give me a really good indication about how much light is in here. This side from us is east, the sun's rising over there and coming across, and I'll show you in a minute, but over this side of us in the afternoon is a kiwi fruit shelter belt, which is cutting off our afternoon light. But in summer that's actually not a bad thing. As long as I'm getting 6, 7, 8 hours of daylight in summer, I think we'll be alright. But I'm trying not to jump the gun. I haven't got my spades out yet. We've got to prep the space. I intend to solarize this in summer, which means I will cover the area that I'm going to start with. We're going to start small. We're doing one garden bed this summer. We'll solarize the space with a sheet of PVC plastic. I'll put it down, I'll weigh it down, and I'll leave it there for all of summer. And that is going to cook the foliage that's already on top and a lot of the seeds that are in the soil underneath as well. So that will give us a good base, reasonably weed-free base to start with a bit of organic composter down on top as well. Then after that I've got to generate enough compost to fill the thing. I haven't gone back to work. I can't buy thousands of dollars worth of fresh compost, so we're going to make it ourselves. That's okay. I've got time and I've got resources. All around over here are fallen leaves, all around under our mulberry bush are fallen leaves. That's a fig tree, there's fallen leaves. That's a great carbon source. I've been left with animal poo. This is now full of goat poo that was left in the sheds here. Over this side behind me are some chicken coops. They need cleaning out. They're all full of old chicken poo. This whole pasture here actually had 2 kuni pigs in it. So we've got a lot of manure going on, which is great. And I know where I can get free horse poo. As you may remember from previous Dandelion Garden posts, I love to plant in poo. Makes good strawberries. We're going to determine where we're going to plant and start prepping that site, and we're going to start growing compost, forming compost. I am planting in the raised bed garden that's down the other side, so I can scratch that itch at least. And we are slowly going to build this up and do it as cheaply as possible without cutting corners on the ecology, on the soil ecology that we need to have present in the gardens. So that's our winter goal. We're going to get Dandelion Gardens back up and going, and I'm going to shift it over onto YouTube, because what I've discovered is it's really hard to share this kind of knowledge in 90-second bites. We'll still do the Facebook and Instagram platforms because that's where a lot of people are, but I'm going to try and lead people over to YouTube for some longer form videos where we can show a bit more of this gardening content. We are going to assess all our locations, particularly for sunlight. I know we'll be a little bit cooler than we were before, but we haven't shifted regions. We've just got a little bit higher in altitude, so not expecting too much to change there. We should have a little bit more rainfall. Case in point, it's raining now. Than we did down in town, just by being up the hill a little bit more. But I'll set up my rain gauges, and then we're going to go from scratch. So I'm going to share that with you guys. The last time we started up, July last year, I was showing how to get an established garden ready for spring. My garden was already 3 or 4 years established in that particular spot. It already had a seed bank of useful veggies and flowers. It had established flowers in it. It had established herbs in it. Not everybody's in that position. I'm now dealing with a bare grass paddock, and I really want to share turning this into a productive garden that'll feed my household. And we've got a lot of space here now. We made this move so that we could have the space. We have 2.7 hectares to work with. But what I'm about to do with this garden, you can do with your lawn in town. Doesn't have to be a paddock and a piece of farmland. You can do this to your lawn in town, and it's going to work exactly the same way. You might not have the same resources on site, but you'll have it in your local community that you can find, that you can gather these things. No one's going to stop you raking up leaves from the local park and taking them home. You can always get seaweed off the beach, all that sort of stuff. It may not be in your backyard, but it's in your surrounding area. And what we're what we're going to do here over the next, and it's going to be a year or two, you can do to your own lawn. And I'm going to try and do it as cheaply as possible. Not everyone is, and we are not in a position to go and buy thousands of dollars worth of compost to fill these garden beds with. We're going to be making it from scratch, which makes it better anyway. So, come along, let's do it. Let's build a brand new garden.